Well, I guess it's something he felt he had to do because of the reaction to the news. I mean, this was in the air because the LA Times, first acknowledged that it didn't endorse the presidential candidate this year. Then the publisher of the Post on Friday put out a statement saying that the Post would no longer do so. Huge backlash. Very prominent journalists, saying this was wrong. People at the Post quitting, editors. And according to National Public Radio, they said over 200,000 subscribers canceled, about 8% of the Post subscription. The paper hasn't commented either way on that number. So after the weekend, it seems Bezos felt he had to say something about his reasoning for the decision.
So let's just go to it. We quickly threw it up for those who are watching right now on YouTube and Bloomberg Television. But Jeff Bezos did say it in an essay published on the Washington Post website. Tim mentioned this. Most people believe the media is biased. This is what Jeff Bezos' word. Most people believe the media is biased. Anyone who doesn't see this is paying scant attention to reality. And those who fight reality lose. Reality is an undefeated champion. So I'm trying to understand this. I guess the takeaway here is, Chris, that if you put out an endorsement, everyone's going to assume that everything you do has some bias to it. But many would argue that this is why we have opinion pages, right? And that's where these things usually lie. And most people understand it's an opinion, it's a position. So I just do wonder, what does this mean for media going forward, where this has been just such a kind of important part of the cycle, maybe, and maybe understanding, media weighing in on various candidates?
Yeah, I mean, there is definitely a trend. Even before the LA Times, other papers stopped doing endorsements. Bezos definitely tried to frame this as part of a bigger picture thing that people are losing faith in the media. People are now turning to podcasts and social media posts that are not researched, not fact-checked at all. And if you're going to combat that, you have to be sort of hyper independent and not take sides in decisions like this. Now, the criticism of this decision, including from Marty Baron, a very sort of well thought of former editor of the Post, was that if that's your decision, but why make it 2 weeks before the election? And in fact, the Post has endorsed other candidates, so there doesn't seem to be a reason for doing it right now, other than it's a very contentious election, and the Post felt that it was not the time to endorse someone.
Chris, let's be honest, it's kind of the last thing the Washington Post needs right now, with reporters there and so much upheaval in the newsroom over the last year or so. Just in the last 30 seconds we have with you, give us an idea of what this means for reporters, not on the editorials or opinions side, but on the reporting side.
Well, it is ironic that something that at least Bezos framed as something to help them in their independence has actually caused so much controversy. Internally, reporters are not happy about this at the Post, and they don't feel it was handled very well. And so it's just another problem for the paper at this difficult time.